Man. I had to go live. I don't feel like recording. I just want to go live. I want real reactions. I need all y'all to check in. Everybody need to check in, man. All my subscribers check in. Please, man. My boy Joe Witt defense. My guy, Kings Cliffbury offense is horrible. Dan Quinn as the coaching staff look like the team has given up on him. They has given up on him, man. They is not in tune. They fighting, you know. They're not acting professional out there. They agitated, they irritated. Every chance they get, they ready to fight. Detroit is just methodically just going up and down the field. I'm watching the game right now, and I see a little bit of fight in the offense, but the defense, they trying, but they just don't have the talent. They don't have the speed. They don't have the pass rush. They don't have the defensive coordinator. They don't have the coverage guys. The guys got the ability to lock players down one on one. Trey Amos is our best cornerback on the team. He's injured out there. You got old Jones out there. He's trying his best, but it's just not good enough. You got the overrated Quan Martin out there, who's just not good enough. I mean, I can go on and on and on, man, on and on and on. And then you got Biotis, the center. He's just not good enough. You got the rookie Conley out there. He's trying his best, but guess what? I'm not gonna say he's not good enough, but he's trying his best. He's a rookie. Yeah, everything is moving fast. He's trying to adapt to the game, stuff like that. And then you got Bill. Bill is in the doghouse. Poor Bill. Bill ain't got the weapons on the outside for him to be successful. He doesn't have the frame as a Rodriguez does. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying his best. Everybody is out there trying to try their best, but the coach staff is failing. And our bench, our bench just not good enough, man. Adam Peters got to get a little bit of this blame. He's got to get a little bit of the blame for what's going on with this team. Obviously, he picks the players, obviously. Um, Dan Quinn also, as a coaching staff that he assembled together. The offensive line coach from the Giants, he was bad already. This team cannot run block to save their lives. When they had McLaurin and those guys out there early in the year, and they had Jaden Daniels, you know, they was the number one rushing team in the league. But that's because they only played against one good defense, and that was the Green Bay Packers. And you see what happened when they played against teams that actually have a defense. They shut the running game down. And then it didn't help when the outside players got hurt. They got depleted. And then you got to try to muster up a running game. It's just not going to happen when you don't have guys that's good enough on the outside to draw fear into the safeties or the linebackers' eyes. What they're going to do, they're going to put 8 in the box, and they're gonna match you up one on one on the outside and dare you to beat them with the arm. That's all. That's how they've been playing. It's as simple as that. That's why Jaden Daniels keep getting hurt. They don't fear nobody on the outside, so they could pay a lot of attention to Jaden Daniels. People think Jaden Daniels having a sophomore slump. No, he's not having a sophomore slump. It's the fact that he doesn't have no continuity with his offensive players. You throw in a guy like Debo Samuels, you got all these moving parts. Jalen Lane, you got too many moving parts. He doesn't have enough continuity with these players like he did. He hit the ground and running last year with Zacchaeus, Noah Brown, De'Ami Brown, Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz. Everybody was in sync by the time the season start. You know what I'm saying? It was like Cliff Kingsbury had a lot of toys and didn't really know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But he made it work last year. Um, I thought them giving up the kids and De'Ami Brown was huge. You know, it was going to be a setback, and I sat back and I seen that they replaced him with Debo Samuels. I'm like, okay, a motivated Debo Samuels. Well, just maybe, you know what I'm saying? He still got something left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was thinking as far as Debo Samuels. But then Terry McLaurin hold out, that kind of like decimated the team. You know what I'm saying? That I felt it too, man. Early on in the year, I felt it, man. I was like, man, this ain't good. This this ain't gonna be good. But I was hoping, I always remain hopeful and try to speak everything into existence and try to remain positive and don't think negative and be like, okay, all right, let's see if they can match the energy that they had last year, those two together. But it never came back. Terry McLaurin got hurt. Then Jaden got hurt. Jaden got hurt because he was holding the ball too long, and then he tried to make things happen because guys couldn't get open. That's why Jaden Daniels keep getting hurt. Every time he got hurt, it was because he was trying to make something play. Not the blind side hits. It was because he was trying to run because his guys could not get open. It's just that simple, y'all. He can't, how you gonna look good? And you can't throw the guys open because they can't get open. To get separate, they can't even get separation to get the every time he threw the ball, guys either drop the ball or guys making a play on the ball. Those guys wasn't getting any type of separation. Right? You know what I mean? That's what hurted Jaden Daniels. That's what hurted us as a team. And then, you know, Cliff Kingsbury, he couldn't adapt. He couldn't adapt to what anybody was doing. You know, he tried um he tried his best for what he can do. He's really good when he got all his players, when he got everybody. He don't know how to scheme players open. I watched the games and he's not scheming nobody open like that. Um, and I just think he need to be. I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm gonna put it to you like this when it comes pertains to Cliff Kingsbury. I think we need to move on from Cliff Kingsbury. That's just my opinion. We need to get somebody that's got an innovative mind. You know what I'm saying? Creative. You know what I'm saying? We need to get some young, fast players on offense. We have to go young because we got to match Jaden Daniels. He's a young quarterback, so you need to surround him with young players on offense and defense. You can't keep putting these old, savvy veterans around him. They may have the instinct, but they don't have the speed. They may see what's coming, but they can't get there fast enough. You know what I mean? We need to go young. We need to rebuild, keep the quarterback, and we're gonna have to go through some growing pains, man. But you gotta give him some speed on the outside. That's just that simple, plain and simple. You gotta give him speed on the outside. But we can't keep putting old veterans around him. It's no more signing the guys like Diggs on offense, who's at the end of their career. No more Debo Samuels. You know what I'm saying? No more old players on defense. We need to get young on defense, man. If we got to do it through the draft the next 3 years, even if we got to take other people's even if we got to take other people's young talent off their team, that's what we got to do then. But we cannot keep adding veterans to this team. As we saw in the last year in the playoffs, those veteran players, all the veteran players coughed up the ball. De'Ami Brown was an exception, but everybody else coughed up the ball. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at when we play young and fast teams, we can't keep up. We cannot keep up. As you see in this Detroit game, we just can't keep up with these guys on offense. They trying on defense, but they just not talented enough. They just don't have the speed. You know what I'm saying? And then you try to put a guy like McGee on Gibbs early in the game out the backfield. McGee had no chance, especially in a tight area like that. He has no chance. You know what I'm saying? So I just think we need to get young, speedy guys out there, man. If we can do that, man, I think we'll be fine. And get a new defensive coordinator. If they're not going to let Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Wick go, I prefer to keep Cliff Kingsbury, but we got to get rid of that defensive coordinator because he is terrible. Dan Quinn moved him down on the field. I don't know how much that helped. As you can see, Detroit put up 32 points so far, and it hasn't slowed Detroit down at all. It doesn't make a difference whether this guy's sitting in the clouds, whether this guy's sitting on the field, in the stands. It doesn't matter, man. The booth, it doesn't matter. This guy cannot call plays to save his life. He was never a defensive play. He was never a defensive play caller. He was always a secondary coach or something like that, or assistant defensive play caller. He was never a full-fledged defensive coordinator. You know who made him defensive coordinator? Dan Quinn. That's who made him a defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? People may say, "Oh, they pleaded on defense, this, that, and four." Even when we had some guys on defense last year, when we had some pass rushers on defense last year, That did not make a difference. Didn't make a difference, especially in that Eagles game. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Tampa Bay game. We lost, we won the game, but did we win the game? That Detroit game, we lost, we won the game, but did we win the game? You got to question yourself. We got fortunate turnovers in those two playoff wins, and our offense was so electrifying. They capitalized off all those turnovers. If we didn't have the offense we had last year, that defense would have been exposed. Been exposed. So let that sink in right there. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? So is Joe Witt deserving to be fired? Yes, he is. To me, in my book, yes, he is. They last and almost last in everything. They showed the chart. They like 28th, 29th, 28th, whatever. They last in everything, man. And I know people going to say, oh, man, they injured, man. They this, they that, they that. That may be half the issue, but they wasn't injured last year. They was not injured last year. And look what the results were still the same. Look at this. I'm looking at this. This guy run all the way down the field, untouched. He went like 40 yards, Williams, untouched. I seen so many players in today's game, Detroit, today's game, wide open before somebody got to him. I mean, wide open, running across the field before somebody finally got to him. They got like a 7 or 8 yard separation. Our guys barely getting separation out there. And that's because Mariota got to hold the ball long. It's not like how Jaden Daniels was getting the ball quick out of his hands last year. You know what I'm saying? Guys was getting open off the break, but no, not this year. Because these guys cannot get open. Other team guys get open. Other team guys stop our guys. We can't stop nobody else. Other teams make field goals. We can't make field goals. Other team running backs run all over our defense. Other teams stop our defense. Everything that other teams can do to us, we can't do to them. And that's just the bottom line. Everything that they do, we cannot do to them. But they can do it to us. Let that sink in. So all I'm saying is, man, all I'm saying is I had to go live. You know, frustration. I haven't been on here in a minute, but frustrations, man, I had to go live and really voice my opinion, man, and talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? If I missed something, y'all put it in the chat, man. Put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all thinking. Get y'all frustration off too, because this right here is unacceptable, man. Something has to change. During the bye week, somebody has to go. Somebody has to go. You know, to make it look like you care, you give a damn. If you continue letting this guy, Joe Witt, you know what I'm saying, coach this team, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just letting me know that you don't give a damn about the season. They already undisciplined. They getting ejected. They getting unsportsmanlike conduct flags thrown all over the place. They just not playing with no fire, man. You know what I'm saying? They just look like they disengaged. Once again, guys, wide open catching the ball. I know I'm going live, and I know people watching the game and they frustrated. They probably don't want to look at the live right now. I get it, man, but it is what it is, man. This team right here is not a good football team, as you can see. I think the defense checked out, but you got guys like Jeremy Reeves. You know, he's out there playing hard. Kinlaw out there playing with passion. Um, you got a few guys out there. Louvu is playing hard, but Louvu just don't have the talent to really stay with some of these tight ends and these running backs. You know, he's not that. He's a blitz. He's more of a blitzing style linebacker. He's not a guy that's suitable out in coverage, but they play him out there like that, like he is. I've seen him so many times lost. Wagner's a guy, man. He's gonna try to play hard every game. He's gonna give you all he got, but he's an older guy now, man. He's not what he used to be. McGee's a young guy, can't stay healthy. He's trying to learn the game and still haven't caught up with the game yet. I think he plays slow because he's really fast, but I think he plays slow because he's thinking more so than reacting. And then I just think a guy like Newton, now I'm talking about Newton, the guy, Johnny Newton, he don't get a lot of playing time like he used to because he get pushed around in there a lot. He gets pushed around. We just need to get better on the edges. We need some more big guys that can clog up that middle. Kinlaw is a mainstay, until his contract is up. I like Kinlaw, but we gotta do better than the Von Millers and the Martins, you know, the Wise. We got to do better than that. Armstrong was playing good until he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But he's another guy that's getting up there a little bit. You know, um, he's a type of guy that you can keep him on until you get another pass rusher. But we need at least one more. We need at least one pass rusher. We need at least one pass rush out there. We don't have none that can really put fear into somebody hard on defense. We just need to get faster, man. I think we need to get faster. We need to draft better when it pertains to defense. You know what I'm saying? We trying to keep gambling on the 6th round picks, the 5th round picks. We need to start landing and hitting on some of these 1st, or 2nd, and 3rd round picks because that's where your meat of your draft at. I understand you get lucky sometime later on in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, but in order to really be a good team, you're going to have to get quality players early in the first 3 rounds. That's where your players going to be at. That's where your cornerstone players are going to be at. You trying to make 6th and 5th, 6th and 7th, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks, your cornerstones. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick live, talk about the game real quick. I'm frustrated, like I said, man, as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Check the live out, comment, man. I'll get back with you. Whether it's good or bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Hey, look, all I can say is, man, it can't get no worse, man. It can't get no worse than this. Y'all just went to the NFC Championship game last year, you know. So that means it's not all bad, but it ain't all good neither. We still got a long ways to go. I'm not thinking about no Super Bowl, nowhere near the Super Bowl right now, at least for a couple of years. I don't even feel right saying it based on because we went to the championship game. We got a franchise quarterback. It feels strange right now, me saying what I'm saying about at least a couple more years, but we got to get rid of these old players. We're the oldest team in the league, and it's showing right now. We don't have good depth. We got to get good depth. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, sign other people's younger players. We got to get young and fast, man. We got to get rid of these old guys. We cannot re-sign these old guys, man. It's got to be a better way. This is not it. This is not it. And I'm pretty sure Adam Peters, if he's a good GM, he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Because all the games that I watched this year, we looked at slow and old. Slow and old. So anyway, man, this your boy Albert Deasy Sports Channel. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Peace.